Shout out to D-Lo, one of my favorite YouTube black astrologers. Dolo, I'm sorry. So I'm not going to play it too long because I don't have the instrumental of this and I didn't get permission. I did not own the rights to this song, but thank you, D-Lo, because this joint rocks. I don't know how much they won't let this play, but this rocks. Shout out to Dolo again. The song is called Demi-Urge. Find it on YouTube. Follow Dolo as well. He's awesome at what he does. Alright, y'all. Welcome to Addicted to Astrology. Lord, it's still Mercury in the shadow period of Mercury retrograde. It ends this week, actually. The shadow period and everything should be a little bit better this week. I am lighting the moon incense and open roads incense today because it is the new moon tonight on July 19th into July 20th. Put that there so it doesn't burn my eyes out. So again, I did the moon incense. Oh, this is an open road. I'm sorry. This is good fortune. Always need good fortune. Always need good fortune. All right. Hopefully I'm projecting loud enough because it is almost 100 degrees at 12 something in the afternoon in Washington, D.C. It is 91 on the thermometer, but the humidity in Washington, D.C. makes it feel like it is 100. And we don't have central air in this house that we're trying to move out. So I got my fan right here next to me. So hopefully it's not overpowering my sound. Get into it. All right, also, I have stones here today I want to show you. This, I believe, is called a shungite and a pyrite. These are good for, I put them in front of me when I'm using my phone too long, and especially when I'm using a laptop. It prevents radiation from affecting your bodies. I also have the clear quartz for clarity today because we're definitely going to need that for the rest of the year. And I have amethyst, which is good for manifesting. It's good for positive energy, abundance, expansion, all the kind of things that we want and have to do with these planets in Capricorn and retrograde that we're going to still continue to talk about because they are definitely affecting us. So today, the title is Cancer's Caring, Capricorn's Control Releasing Capricorns, and Relax in Retrograde. I might change and play with that title a little bit more once I finish this. But we know we know Cancer is for being caring beings, nurturing, feminine energy. We know Capricorn energy for being masculine energy, controlling energy. And we know retrogrades using the prefix re tells you to do a lot of things that begin with the prefix re, like relax. So we're going to learn all these things today in episode 13. I also want to discuss 13 really quick. The number 13 in numerology can represent what 1 represents and what 3 represents. It can also represent 1 plus 3, which is 4. 4 also brings some restrictions, some control over things. 13 is known to be an unlucky number. However, once you use it as a 4 instead of the number 13, or you don't believe in the altered, what do I want to call it, presentation of things, You know, things that we have known, old narratives we've known for things to be for years. If you want to go with the new flow of things, you'll know that 13 is not, and never really has been, a bad number, an evil number. So when in saying all that, I'm not going to go too far into numerology because I'm still studying that as well. But I really wanted to stick with astrology, of course. So, welcome to Addicted to Astrology. I am TMZ. Thank you for coming back to my channel. Thank you for liking, subscribing, commenting, and what did I leave out? Viewing. All right, let's get started. I don't know if you all noticed this, but I put the laptop up a little bit so I'm not looking down at you, I'm looking at you. This is actually moon water from the Capricorn lunar eclipse that we had, full moon, 2 weeks ago. So cheers to that, and I'm going to drink some of this because my moon is in Capricorn on my birth chart. And like I said, we're still in Cancer season, which is the opposition sign of Capricorn. Cancer is the opposition sign of Capricorn. And we're doing a lot of opposing today. We're talking about a lot of opposing because, again, we still have 3 planets that are going to be in Capricorn for the rest of the year. So you're going to hear about this through December, y'all. Especially about Saturn and Jupiter. Saturn and Jupiter will be in Aquarius by the end of the year, beginning of 2021, which is when we will finally get some easier clarity. They will also be in retrograde for most of the rest of the year too. We're going to talk about the other half of the year, but mainly this week, which is the last week of Cancer season, we are experiencing the new moon. So I want to correct myself from Wednesday. I'm used to the moon cycles going through the signs regularly as they have been that I've noticed, but today I come across us having a new moon in Cancer for the second time. We had the first one with the solar eclipse on June the 21st when summer equinox started, when Cancer season started, when we had a solar eclipse, and then we also had the matching new moon in Cancer. So the sun was going into Cancer, the moon was going into Cancer. Now the moon is still in Cancer, and it's the new moon again. We still will have a Leo new moon, but it'll be at the end of Leo season. Things are changing. All right, so as you saw on the clip, I had to show the clip. As you saw on that clip, the mother and father signs, the mother being Cancer sign and the father being Capricorn sign, are opposing at the exact same degree of 28 degrees today or this evening going into tomorrow, which is like them discussing how they're going to move forward into this new era that they're moving into, because the 28th degree is the second to last degree of both of the signs, and they're both moving into, Cancer is moving into Leo, Capricorn is moving into Aquarius. We're going from water and earth energy to fire and air energy. Cancer being a healing again energy, and it's still in the sun is still in Cancer. It gives us the confidence and ability to be exactly who we want to be, and we are confident in that. I just got off Facebook, as I usually do every morning, saying this today, that I'm happy with people who accept me for who I am. I'm grateful for those who follow me and are subscribed to this channel and are following me on my social media platforms. But I'm not going to change to get more people to follow me. those people follow me because I stay true to who I am, because I'm confident in who I am, and I'm confident in abilities to be who I am progressing to be, which is what I feel everybody should want to be like, especially during these times and these days where we're definitely being told what to do versus telling ourselves what feels right in our hearts to do. We're going to talk a lot about the heart chakra today too. So the moon in Capricorn two weeks ago, or either not even, well, my moon in Capricorn is opposing the the Cancer sun right now, or last week, 2 weeks ago, from my birth chart basically. And the current forecast is an example of the reconditioning and the restrictive emotions that are going on the planet, especially with people who have Capricorn moons like me. And I know I've done several birth charts where people have Capricorn moons, so a lot of us are going through certain changes and trying to deal with the restrictions we might have put on ourselves or that the world is putting on us right now. And I have always had a way of using healing to power my confidence. Sorry. Excuse me, I had to take a sip of water and burp. All right, so what I was saying was that I use the restrictions that come from having a Cancer moon, especially in Cancer season, to heal those things that have been restricting me all my life, especially when I was growing up as a child. And now that the moon is in Cancer again, the second new moon we're having, before we all move into this new era, it is important to check your emotions and be healed through things that are like giving restriction to that. Especially Cancer, the new Cancer moon is giving nurturing emotions, and either it's giving nurturing emotions or it could give depressing emotions, depending on how you look at it, especially with water signs like myself, with Scorpios or Pisces. So the collective might be feeling depressed at this time, even if you aren't a water sign or earth sign. So thinking just to what's going on and speaking on it briefly, there is a number of restrictions, like we can't go outside, we have to wear a mask, we have to decide on if we're going to work and be an essential employer, or we're going to be restricted to unemployment. We're waiting on unemployment, we're waiting on funds coming from grants or loans or SBA loans, whatever, right? And we can either restrict ourselves to just sit and wait and fear and worry, or we can learn how to push through and heal from all these restrictions that not only are going on this year, but have been going on personally, individually in our lives for very long times. Last Wednesday, a lot of you did not watch my episode, and I don't know what it was about that episode. I don't like it myself. I'm gonna leave it up though, but it does have some good information on it, especially about Chiron and retrograde. But tying Chiron and retrograde, that is also making aspects to the sun in Cancer and the new moon in Cancer. Aspects meaning like squares. Squares are conflicts. Those are the transitions between Chiron and the sun and the moon in Cancer. Chiron is in Aries in retrograde. Both are the healing energies, but Chiron is opening those old individual from birth on in healing that we need to pay attention to. So it's very important to kind of know everything is going on. I might sound like I'm all over the place, but there's just a lot to discuss because everything affects everything. Everything above affects everything below. So I have to talk about everything above. I just can't stick to one situation. There's many things happening above. There's Pluto retrograde, Jupiter retrograde, Saturn retrograde, all in Capricorn. There's Mars in Aries. There's Chiron in Aries in retrograde. That's another retrograde. Then we have Neptune retrograde in Pisces. That is huge. We have the new moon, the double new moon in Cancer, the second one consecutively. We have the sun still in Cancer moving into Leo on the Wednesday. On this Wednesday, the 22nd, we have the moon back in Cancer moving into Leo because the moon changes every 2 days. We have millions of things going on. Gemini's and Venus. Mercury's in Cancer too. There's a lot that goes along with everything. And if you are studying astrology, if you're here to really know about what's going on with yourself, it's important to know every little bit, even if this is a little bit of it. All right. Also, I want to talk about, because I have brought this up several times and I'm correcting myself again. I previously said the horoscope, the meaning of horoscope is like the entertainment piece of astrology, and that was incorrect. Okay? People do think astrology and horoscopes, the word horoscopes is for entertainment purposes only, and it is not. It is scientific, it is mathematics, it is religious, it is spiritual. It is not entertainment. It is very real. Again, it has to do with nervous systems connecting to the energies in the solar system. Anything that happens above our head, especially the sun, which is the most powerful thing in the solar system, even dealing with this virus, go outside, get the energies from above, especially the sun. The sun gives vitamin D, real nourishment. Just from sitting in the energy of the sun will help you kill that virus. Double check me on that. Ask your doctor about vitamin D. It's not a pill. It is a pill, but you can also naturally get it from just sitting out in the sun for 15 minutes a day. That's my tea for today on that. All right, horoscopes are basically your natal chart and the planets that are on your natal chart aspecting or transitioning with the current chart planets. For example, like I said, my Capricorn moon is opposing the moon in Cancer. That is my horoscope. That is how you tell what is actually going to happen day by day, week by week, because based on people's natal charts compared to what is actually going on in the forecast. Because like you watch the weather forecast, there's solar forecasts. There's really energy above the clouds, because the clouds give us weather. The sun is part of the weather. The sun is part of the solar system, so there's a forecast for the solar system as well. And the forecast that you get based on the solar system forecast tied into your own personal sun sign is how we come up with horoscopes. Hopefully that you got that, because I'm gonna continue to move on. Okay, so Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto in Capricorn in retrograde will be opposing the new moon in Cancer and the sun in Cancer for the remainder of the week. The sun does move into Leo. This opposition will basically be with Saturn, because Saturn just came out of Aquarius 3 weeks ago now, but it's still moving slowly, so it's at 28 degrees now. The moon is in Cancer, and before it moves into Leo, it'll make that aspect, it'll make that opposition with Saturn, because they both will be at 28 degrees before it goes to 29 and into 0 when it moves into Leo. The sun in Cancer is in its last 3 days, which means tomorrow on Monday, it'll be in its 28th day at its 28th degree. It'll also oppose Saturn in Capricorn. Hopefully this makes sense. And remember the clip I showed you where you can see it opposing. So this new moons actually bring in new energy and new opportunities and things that you can manifest. These oppositions can be negative and positive. There can be opportunities for something new, of course, but Saturn being exactly at the same degree may tend to restrict the new. it may come as forced new energy, something you cannot hide from or duck from. And this new forced energy will come with restrictions. I can't tell you what it's exactly going to be for the collective. I have my thoughts on it, but everybody pretty much just has to wait and see a lot this year with everything. The sun and the moon energy is positive and negative, being that it's going to be in the exact same degree at 28 degrees with opposing Saturn and Capricorn. For example, I started a new job last Tuesday, the day after my Cancer daughter's 8th birthday. This new job is with a government agency, which already brings laws and restrictions. This might mean also for people starting in new positions or new homes, new moves in life, new businesses, new careers, new jobs, new relationships. Anything new can take a little longer to get them going until pretty much the mid of August from here on, due to this transition, this opposition. So basically my job, it can be beneficial, especially because I have not be receiving the unemployment and everything that some people have, but it can also shut down if, being a government agency, if the government decides to shut things down again due to the allegations of the numbers going up, from COVID-19. And that to me is saying that I still need to work out and figure out how to move myself financially or individually, in still being able to live life abundantly without the need for finances and all those kind of things. It's kind of hard to explain, but what I'm saying is if challenges arise because we are experiencing new things and we are still being restricted by Saturn in Capricorn retrograde, you still have to learn how to push through it. You still have to heal from your worries or your fears, which is what Cancer, the new moon, and the sun are explaining as well. And this week alone will be super emotional, being that it's at the last realm of the sun in Cancer. It's at the mastery position. It's at the point where we are definitely learning how to move into something new, especially a fire sign, especially Leo, which represents the sun. The moon is ruled by, Cancer is ruled by the moon. Leo's ruled by the sun. Those are the two most powerful energies and bodies in the solar system. So there's going to be a lot of emotional things going on, especially as we move into Leo season. Excuse me, I do not know why I have so much indigestion. I haven't even eaten. I'm just drinking water today. All right, so moving through your emotions again, especially when the moon changes its sign every 2.5 days, and this being the second new moon in Cancer, it's kind of going back and seeing what you didn't heal from these past 28 days. It's checking what you need to still think about, especially coming from the heart. Cancers represent the heart. It represents the healing. It represents nurturing yourself. Let's get into that. Not even talking about the planets always. There are other aspects that have happened that have definitely affected us on Earth, especially the eclipses that just happened. There was the lunar eclipse in Capricorn when the moon was full in Capricorn 2 weeks ago, and then there was the solar eclipse in Cancer that happened at the beginning of Cancer season, like I just spoke on. Those eclipses put us in new ways of healing with the pressure to do so based on water and earth energies, coming from, again, the Cancer sun and the Capricorn moon, or planets in Capricorn. So there's a strong purging that we need to use from these restrictions and from the ways to heal. Strong purging, releasing, crying out your emotions, venting, being by yourself, getting help from others. We're all learning to heal and protect ourselves through these changes and this newness that's coming in. The opposition aspects can lead to a divide too. So here I go again about what I put on Facebook today, especially with the Capricorn, the deepness of a water sign with the groundedness of an earth sign. Capricorn is being more responsible with your emotions, which is why I can be emotionless sometimes with the Capricorn moon. And it's pressure, it has to do with work and career-wise. It has to deal with getting things done. And Cancer has to do with healing from the discomfort of the Capricorn energies. It has to deal with taking a break, not overwhelming yourself, self-care. And it's also the shadow of Mercury retrograde, like I said, that's still in Cancer. It's teaching us to slow down. So you do whatever these energies tell you to do, or what you can do with these energies right now. It's like, if it's a little, then that's it. If that's all you can do, then that's it. You don't push yourself. You allow downtime. If you can do so, you will see pretty much how needed this rest and healing is, especially with mental burdens like the restrictions that Capricorn brings. Another example is when you support your emotions and what you feel is right. Like just yesterday, I felt that since my kids were at a party all day, most of the day, what was right for me to do was to relax. What was right for me to do was vent online still. Now, I have to check my energies because sometimes that brings on depression, and it brings on aggression as well with me. But I felt that it was just right. I also feel that I could do a lot less screen time and close my eyes a little bit more and rest. So this week we should take these kind of hints and messages and just heal, just relax. Relax from the retrogrades. Cancer. Do not let the controlling energies of Capricorn take over you. Then the second moon in Cancer, the second new moon in Cancer at the 28 degrees at 28 days later, is pretty much telling us to check in with ourselves. It's a point where you need to know that you're going to be okay and that you're going to move forward and learn the new ways that are coming in, especially from the power of the sun. And then have this, the Leo's energies are dealing with self anyway. But 28 days ago, did you realize what you needed? Like in the first Cancer new moon, did you realize what you might realize now, 28 days later, in the second Cancer new moon? What was your heart telling you, and what do you need a break from now? Because we have been 28 days, and every day in 2020 has been a huge impact on everyone. So just in the last 28 days, what does your heart tell you, and what have you come to a realization about as far as what is best for you, what is not best for you anymore? Now, 28 degrees is also valid because the newness does not normally start at the end of a cycle. Normally we start newness at 0 degrees. But just like Rome wasn't built in a day, just like we're not going to move into new ways of life by just starting it right on a certain day. It doesn't happen like that in life. It's representing coming back. The Cancer energy is giving the mother like energy, the feminine energy, having a conversation with their daughter or their younger selves. And the Capricorn energy is giving that masculine energy or that father energy, which is having a meeting with his boy-like self or his son. Or it's like boys to men or child to adulthood. It's these kind of energies checking in and giving awareness to what has previously been learned. It's like you talking to your younger self. It's like you're saying, you know what? Everything you learned was for that time, and now you're moving into a new time where some of those things you might learn are not fitting anymore, and you need to learn a new way. Like the conversation that you have with yourself individually, you cannot worry about the conversations, and I'm talking to myself too. You cannot worry about the conversations you have with other people, because before you have a conversation with other people, before you can worry about other people, before you can worry about other countries, other cities, other communities even, you got to worry about your own. It's got to start within. Working with your emotions and your heart chakra especially will help you purge out everything that you have been restricting yourself from or controlled by that's not fitting anymore. Over many lifetimes, over past lifetimes, over this lifetime, over a decade, over a month, over this past week, you're clearing out certain cycles, especially as a collective. Going back to the collective is clearing out cycles that have restricted us, and that's what Saturn has to deal with. Healing from it is what the moon has to deal with. Your emotions. Capricorn restricts it, Cancer heals it. Jupiter, also in Capricorn, expands it. It expands your heart. Even after heartbreaks, after sadness, after letdowns, after all these deaths that have been happening, it still renews you. There's always a regeneration in certain situations like this. One bad day does not create a bad life. You know, not to go off topic, but still on topic, Neptune in Pisces gives illusions. Sometimes Pisces refuse to see what they need to see. And by the whole collective being under Neptune and Pisces right now, sometimes we refuse to see certain things that are restricting us. We refuse to see certain things that are bad for us. We refuse to see certain things that are not fitting anymore. That's why I'm trying to explain how all these planets, energies, signs have to do with each other. And that's what transits are all about. Transits, aspects are the way our energies in our natal charts that follow us for in our entire lifetimes into next lifetimes from past lifetimes have to do with the current energies above. And all of them, not just one planet, not just the sun, not just the moon, all of them affect us in many kinds of ways. All right, this is not gonna be too long today, y'all. I'm actually gonna stop at 1313 because this is my 13th episode. I have 3 pages left, so let's go. The sun enters Leo in July 22nd, which is Wednesday. 3 more days. That's going to bring in strong energy of the sun and renewal of the heart's courage, because Leo the lion gives us that courage, it gives us that motivation, it gives us that self-push, that those things that we're healing from, it gives us that confidence, right? So the higher feminine energy and the higher masculine energies are reprogramming, which can bring some discomfort. So all of us are very uncomfortable right now, man or woman, because we're all making these changes and these transformations. That's the Pluto and Capricorn piece. old connections and relationships. This time and energy brings in messages to the heart and how it has affected your heart, and showing you understandings of how you've basically used your heart and it may not serve you anymore. So these intense emotions coming through, you probably are, you don't understand. Why is this person coming back? Why is this person on my mind? Why is this person calling me after all this time? Is it going to be from love, or is it going to be from more pain, right? Another example real quick is those exes. I had yet another ex. I'm up to 4 exes now since last weekend, since Mercury retrograde ended. Mercury retrograde brings communication of exes coming back into your lives. And here we are still in the shadow period. But I can easily say every single one of my 4 exes that came back this week had something positive to say, and we had a really good communication piece. And we healed, like I said, from certain pains that we brought on to each other. Shout out to them. All right, shout out to those 2 Sagittariuses, 1 Aquarius, and 1 Leo. All of that fire and air sign, fire and air energy, which I have mostly on my chart. I actually only have 1 Earth. But mostly my chart is fire, water, and air. Mostly fire and air, actually. All right. So the sun and moon opposing Saturn and Pluto are going to bring these answers to why these people are coming back, possibly, this week. Bringing you to more conscious reasonings, which is what we want. We want people to be conscious, not unconscious, with these messages, especially if you are open to receive them. I say this a lot. If you don't have an open mind, you're not going to receive any of the information I'm saying, because you are restricting yourself from that, okay? You can always check back on my information. I check back on my own information. I don't study from one astrology. I don't study from one book. I don't study from one podcast. I go through it all. And I look at charts, and I use my own intuition. So look for messages like I'm giving. Look for messages in songs, podcasts, like I said, books, movies, something in print, something up on a billboard, etc. And just get a more understanding of what is inwardly and outwardly coming at you. This will be an intense week, simply because of all the opposition from the sun and moon, new moon in Cancer, and all the planets in Capricorn. Plus, there will be the entrance of Leo, the sun moving into Leo, us moving into Leo season on Wednesday. It happens at 1:36 a.m. I do know that, on the 22nd, when the energy will become much more vibrant. It'll become much more motivational. It'll become much more pleasurable. The shift that is moving from an emotional moon into the energy, from the energies of Cancer into a self-pleasing, a self-motivating moon and sun, and coming from Leo this week, that represents the sun again, or that is ruled by the sun. Our feminine and masculine energies, feminine being the lunar energies, the moon, masculine being the sun, solar energies, like the yin and the yang, basically, they will come together effortlessly, fortunately, especially for these new seasons and these new energies that are flowing in. The message and themes of this week basically is that we're saying, balance these energies out, for the remainder of the year even. This energy shows us the power that we actually have. Cancer is showing us we actually have the power to heal ourselves. We don't have to worry about anybody else healing us. We don't have to worry about doctors healing us. It's always good to get a second opinion through a doctor, but you know your body better than anybody, okay? You know what your body needs. That's the power I'm talking about. You don't have to listen to somebody else tell you what your body needs, because they don't know your body. They're going from a general aspect. This is so important to know, y'all. I'm speaking in astrology and in life itself. You don't have to listen to those restrictive energies. I don't care what people are saying to you. I don't care if people are making you feel bad like they think they're making me feel bad about the certain things I want to do with myself. I'm not feeling bad about how you feel that somebody is dying because I choose to do what I do with myself. That doesn't even make it make sense. That's not factual. You can't say that what I did with myself has an effect on anybody else directly. If you can, please leave it in the comments and we'll discuss it. The theme of 2020 itself is also individuality. It's as we take the time to support our own emotions and relax and begin to, work things out within ourselves, especially this week, it'll help you come back to realizing what matters to you and yourself. Leo energy is like the sun's energy. What makes you shine? What makes you stand out? What makes you be an individual? What makes you be selfish and selfless? Setting intentions. Again, here's my dream big, my intentions journal, my intentions Bible. Setting intentions, especially now and all new moons, is what matters to you and your heart, especially with the second Cancer new moon. What is best for you next? What is satisfying to you individually? Not satisfying to you and your partner. Not satisfying to you as a collective. Not satisfying to you as following a celebrity who you love. Not satisfying to you and your political party. What is important and satisfying to you? You. And I don't see how this is bad on being selfish, because you have to be selfish at one point in time so that you can be okay. You are selfless so that others can be okay, but if you're not selfish first, how are others going to be okay? Make it make sense. Please tell me in the comments if you disagree, and we can definitely discuss. We can have a cordial discussion. Another important aspect this week is Mercury in Cancer squaring Chiron in Aries on July the 21st, which is Tuesday. This will bring tricky conversations. Mercury being the communication, the message planet, Chiron being the healer. There might be some hurtful messages, so I'm hoping that I didn't talk this into myself, especially as I'm saying this, because I did have great conversations with my exes. I'm hoping that we will continue to have good conversations and something bad won't arise from that, or I won't have any bad conversations with anyone. I might just, stay to myself on Tuesday, who knows. But some things, when this aspect happens, some things may be conflicting. They might set you off. They might trigger you. They might trigger your emotions. So just watch what you say on Tuesday always. Especially, Mercury being in a sensitive sign like Cancer, that is definitely heavy healing as we speak. It has to be something that we watch what we say with, basically. I'm trying to watch what I say now, just because I know what I say. Me having a Mercury in Sagittarius, that fire sign, is uncouth. Needless to say. I just wanted to reapply some lip gloss. All right, Wednesday, again, we move into Leo season. Mercury in Cancer will also sextile, which is a positive energy. It's creative energy with Uranus and Taurus. Uranus is the planet of rebellion, surprise. Taurus is the stubborn yet hardworking, money-making sign. So this may help us get better clarification on the previous day. Like I said, the square between Mercury and forgot which one it was. Mercury and Chiron in Aries, Cancer and fire, water and fire energy will be explained with water and earth energy the next day. when Mercury in Cancer sextiles Uranus and Taurus. So you may think on Wednesday, if you had a bad conversation on Tuesday, that it wasn't so bad, that they maybe didn't mean that maybe you can have a better conversation and figure things out and work things out on Wednesday or Thursday of this week. Mercury being in Cancer, thinking of the crab, it moves sideways, so it's very cautious. It doesn't give you any direct answers really quick. It doesn't give you any clarity really quick, which is why I have the clear quartz for clarity piece here for this week, because Cancers are intuitive and they might feel like something is not right away. Just like Scorpios, we don't believe everything we see right away. The other water sign, Pisces, give those illusions sometimes. Again, Neptune is in Pisces. I'm trying to repeat myself. I'm only repeating myself because these things they correlate with each other. But Aries and Mars is pushing forward and wants us to force communication. Again, for example, I want to know exactly when I'm going to move. I want to know where we're going to move. We have been trying to move since April, but all these restrictions are hindering us. My Mars is in Leo, which is the other Aries sign. I'm sorry, the other fire sign, and Mars is in another fire sign in Aries right now. So see, I can't be mad at my little Cancer child, because she just came in and told me it was 1313, and I definitely wanted to get that on a screenshot. So shout out to Zane. See how that works? The Cancer energies are always healing and there for us. And I was just talking about how they don't always, give us the information we want at the right time, but in divine time they do. So again, shout out to my Cancer daughter, my Krabby Patty Zane, who's newly 8 years old. All right, so wrapping this up, when you relax, especially during retrogrades, you go to your heart, especially Cancer energies, and you feel what will help in difficult times. So maybe you don't take things so personal. Maybe you don't give answers directly like I say Cancers do, Maybe you don't assume or judge or restrict yourself. All these things that I've been discussing today in today's episode. The Gemini energies and the Venus, which is the planet of love, and the North Node, which is our destiny. Gemini is the sign of communication again. Those energies are asking you to talk things out. Don't quit communicating, especially in love communications, especially with Venus in Gemini. Don't quit on asking questions and building up yourself, being clear, being detailed. The North Node is leading us to better ideas and better ways to communicate and practice solving or giving solutions and talking amongst each other and receiving certain messages. North Node is something that everybody should pay attention to on their birth charts as well. Mine is in Libra. Mine is at 0 degrees. I want to show y'all a clip of this really too, because I discovered that 28 degrees is not a critical degree, and I talked about critical degrees last Sunday actually, but I talked about them in the planets. I discovered that degrees are in the houses as well, and I'm going to show you all a link to something that has the brief explanations of what the degree realms meaning 0 to 9, which is the first realm, 10 to 19 in the second realm, and 20 to 29 in the third realm, what each realm of degrees means for each house. And I discovered, which I might be having an aspect to tonight, My 4th house is in Capricorn at 28 degrees, and the opposing house, the 10th house, is in Cancer at 28 degrees on my personal birth chart. And then I went on this website to find out about degrees and their meanings, and I'm going to show you right now. So I decided to video the laptop so I can talk, since I still have not figured out how to connect my screen recording or screen sharing. So right here, and I would love for you to go to this web address. Shout out to this person, KG Styles. The 12 astrological houses and their meaning by degrees. So just really quickly, I want to point out that I'm speaking of the 3rd realm. So the 1st realm is forming development. This is generally degrees in each house representing the following. The 1st realm of each house represents formative development. The 2nd realm represents integration of life lessons. And the 3rd realm represents lessons in mastery. So if I've done your birth chart, I've definitely talked about these degrees with your planets. This is about the houses. So I'm just going to scroll down to the 4th house that is ruled by Cancer and the Moon. My 4th house, and I will show you in a clip after this, my 4th house has 28 degrees in the opposition sign Capricorn, right? So based on up here, I'm learning lessons in mastery, okay? Based on the Capricorn version of the end of life. I'm taking this as the end of life as we know it. I'm taking it as ending restrictions, ending control. This can also be for the collective, but it's specifically to me on my birth chart at 28 degrees. My 4th house is in Capricorn. I'm representing what I want to end as far as my career life, my job life, the reputation I have, everything that has to do with Capricorn. 4th house ruled by Cancer, the opposition sign. Now scrolling down, hopefully I'm not confusing you. You can go back to this and read your own Placidus report if I've done your birth chart, so you can compare with the degrees. The 10th house ruled by Capricorn, mine is in Cancer, the opposition sign. You see where I just talked about it rules status, career, and all that. If you go back up, my 10th house again being in Cancer, Cancer rules emotional conditioning, early childhood support, and all that, right? Healing. So again, my 10th house is in in Cancer. The 10th house is ruled by Capricorn, but I'm talking about the opposition sign at 28 degrees opposing the 4th house. So this means I need to master, or I am mastering, healing from the status, healing from the reputation, healing from my status with people that have tried to control me, that masculine energy, healing from even the feminine energy that's tried to control me. So just in saying that, also I started this talking about how my North Node in Libra on my destiny has to do with balancing out things like a Libra. My 12th house is in Libra in my North Node, and it's at 0 degrees. Okay, the opposition of the 12th house is the 6th house. 12th house is ruled by Pisces, which I talk about, ruled by Neptune. That is the unconscious mind, the emotional memories, and all that, kind of negative stuff, mental stuff, karmic patterns. These are the things that really stand out to me. And mine is at 0 degrees, which is me, again, going back up. Generally, 0 degrees, this one starts at 1, but 0 degrees is what you're forming or developing, right? So the 12th house, mine being in Libra, mine being at 0 degrees in my North Node. It's limit. I'm formulating opinions on what I'm limiting of myself. What am I limiting in my karmic patterns? What am I limiting of my emotional memories, my past? What am I limiting in my unconscious mind? Things like that. I'm forming limitations. Now, this is a lot because houses are a lot, degrees are a lot. It's more than people can really take in one setting. So I would definitely touch on this on more, but I just wanted to shout this out. If you want to try to interpret your own birth chart, or if you would like me to interpret yours like I do, this will be my resource. I haven't found many resources on this because a lot of people don't deal with degrees, and they definitely don't deal with degrees in the houses especially. So just wanted to compare that because the 28th degree in Cancer and Capricorn at this new moon, and it's opposing the Saturn 28th degree in Capricorn, has a lot to do with me personally on my chart. The 4th house that I have in the 28th degree opposing my 10th house in the 28th degree, and I'm going to show you that right now, what it looks like on my chart, so you can see it on your own chart if you'd like to interpret it. All right, guys, so thank you for tuning in today. I know that was a lot. It always is, isn't it? I want you to, if you take anything from this today, I want you to heal. I want you to relax. I want you to care about yourself. I want you to release that control. Use the Cancer energies to care and heal. Use the Capricorn energies to release control. And use the retrograde energies to relax and renew yourself. Pay attention to all messages. Pay attention to your heart. Pay attention to yourself, especially as we continue to ride out 2020. I am TMZ, teaching everyone abundantly, empowering many, Zakia, enlightening every day. This is my 13th episode, 13th Sunday. 13 is a not negative number. I think positive always. You can't make me think negative. I'm not going to impress on you to think negative. So let's all move forward positively. See y'all on Wednesday. Have a wonderful week.